welcome to the Women Conquer Business Show. I'm Jen McFarland, joined by Shelly Carney. We're your go-to small business marketing show, covering breaking marketing news that affects you, cool apps we found, and a how-to deep dive into a marketing topic with a side of motivation and inspiration. We'll also talk a little about our own entrepreneurial journeys as well. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hey. Welcome to Women Conquer Business. I'm Jen McFarland, joined by Shelly Carney. Today we are going to talk about how to boost your business with a product bundle campaign. And I asked Shelly to do this because when I first started my business, I learned about these like right away, the ultimate bundles, and they bring all this stuff. And I've never really known how it works. So what is a product bundle campaign and how can you collaborate with other creators in your industry to put one together? What are the benefits and costs involved? As I said recently, and she talked about it on this show, Shelly participated in InfoStack's Content Creator Super Stack Black Friday campaign. And she's going to share how she connected with InfoStack, all the steps she took to increase sales and grow her email list so that we can all do it too. Woo!
Yay!
How you doing?
I'm doing really well. This week, we had a lot of fun. Toby and I got to go to a couple of holiday parties. Last Saturday, we went to a family. We went to a friend's house. They actually have a house that was converted from a warehouse, or it was actually a store warehouse type of a building, and they converted it into a home. It's a really nice home, but it's in a district that you wouldn't expect a home. So it's a little odd. But the whole reason they were doing it on that day was because there was supposed to be this Twinkle Light Parade on Central, which is Route 66, that goes through Albuquerque. And it rained. It picked that one day to rain all day and all night. And
oh my God,
we hardly ever get that much rain, but it was just like, oh, I'm going to rain on your parade. So we didn't go to the Twinkle Light Parade, but we did go to their place and had a good time there. And then Tuesday we went to the Jingle Mingle, which is a business party kind of thing. A friend of ours, she runs a business called Exhibit, and she puts on trade shows and she helps people put on trade shows, and she does displays, and she's really integral into the Albuquerque business community. So we wanted to make sure we were there to say hey and to be seen and to win prizes. So Toby and I we're like to win our prizes when we're there. So one of the things they did was they gave you a little number. And then at the right time, you're supposed to look and see what your number is, and then find two other people who have the same number by running around and talking to people. And Toby and I just really ran around and said, are you this? Are you this? Are you this? And we found our people first. And so he won a prize and I won a prize. And I won this prize. It's called a float spa. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've done that.
Have you
done it? It's so fun.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, okay, I hope I don't get freaked out by being in an enclosed floating bathtub thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, because what they do is they put so much salt in the float place that I fell asleep. Like, how weird is that? I'm just like floating on my back, and then I like rolled over and got like water in my mouth, and I was like, oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I relaxed because it's supposed to be, it's all like zero gravity and it's like sensory deprivation and all, it's awesome. So you'll have a good time.
Yeah. How about you? What you been up to?
So for those of you, God bless you, that have listened to the show since 2018, my friend Liz Zirk and I used to do an episode called Word of the Year. And she texted me and said, are we going to do it? We got to do it. We got to do it. And because now the word of the year has gotten more interesting since it's no longer pandemic, like the word of the year is more interesting. So over the weekend, we recorded a bonus episode of just Liz and I for Women Conquer Business that we'll release at some point before the end of the year, going through the Oxford English Dictionary and Merriam-Webster words of the year. They're two different words. It's based on searches and use, and it's always pretty fun, and it has nothing to do with marketing. It's just an excuse to talk about something different, although one of the words of the year is related to marketing-ish, and so there's a little talk about it, but not like what Shelly and I do here every week. The other thing that happened is I realized that I have sold, I'm going to put this up here on add it to the stream. I realized now that I have sold 400 courses on AppSumo, the ultimate podcast planning checklist. It's $3. It's like an insane value for $3. And I had somebody emailing me this morning who was like, so I can't share your course with people. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's $3 a person. Like, so it was just kind of funny. AppSumo people want to get as much as they can. At this point, for $3, it's just exciting to have sold that many. It's really been a list building activity for us. It was also a test to see like how selling on AppSumo worked. I've thought about how meta is this, making a course about how to sell on a course on AppSumo. Like it's just kind of like this meta situation. And anyway, so I had not really been keeping track at all about how many people had bought the course. I do keep track of things like the reviews to make sure that it's doing well, and it is. So now I'm like, okay, so what's next? This has been here for a year. When you think about it, a year, 400 courses sold. That's not bad. Like I've done relatively no marketing for this, and it's been a really great experience. So now I'm retooling the course, updating it. We'll re-release it because as AppSumo normally is lifetime access. So whatever updates I make, they go out to the whole community who bought it. And, migrating my courses to another platform because I honestly am not a fan of Teachable. And, in the process of making a lot of really great changes, but it is like, I don't know, do we have like applause or something? Like I'm very celebratory.
All you gotta do is ask.
Very exciting to have sold 400 of something.
That's right.
It's kind of neat. So that's kind of my big what's going on over here. Are we ready for some marketing breaking news?
You betcha. All right. So Jen and I took a look at the state of marketing Salesforce research. And do you want to share that, or
let me pop it up.
Okay.
So you can start talking about it and I'll pop it up.
It's a gathering of research from marketers, mostly marketers who work for large companies, what they're doing, what they see happening, what's working. Number one thing that's working, email.
Talking.
Old school, still works. Hang in there, do your emails. And as Jen's told us how she grew her email list with selling all of those courses through AppSumo, a great way to grow your email list. Be thinking of these types of campaigns that can help you to boost the growth of your email list. And the second thing I wanted to make a note of is looking ahead to 2023. Marketers see improving skills is important in content marketing, campaign strategy, and data analytics. We're all about that here at Women Conquer Business. And I especially am about content marketing. So focus on your content marketing. If you haven't started doing it yet, and I talked to somebody this week, she does a lot of work with other companies, teaching them to reach out on LinkedIn and to kind of half automate that and half, personalize it kind of to bring in new leads. And then I asked her, well, what are you doing for content marketing? And she said, well, we're going to get into that in the next year. So a lot of people on the precipice of diving into content marketing. So if you need help with that, if you want to get started with that, please contact Jen and I, and we can walk you through the process.
Absolutely. And what excited me the most about this Salesforce report is these are things that we have been talking about for a year since we started doing this together, which has been almost a year. I can't even believe it. It's flown by. So what's interesting to me is, everybody, of course, they want personalization. So it's not only building that email list. I mean, my biggest regret is that I didn't really aggressively try to build my email list when I first started my business. So now, and everybody says that it's dead. It's not.
I think that's a confidence thing in the beginning. You're a little afraid. You're like, oh, if I email these people, they might unsubscribe. Well, then they don't belong on your list.
And they don't belong on the list. I mean, it's, texting with Alonti, my executive assistant, this morning, and I'm like, sometimes you just have to bless and release.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
you're just saying goodbye and it's
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
So
Like
what I,
Is it Marie Kondo? Anyway, she's like,
yeah,
thank it
you
for its
thank
service
it
and then let
and
it
then
go.
let it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to do that with people on your list. You also have to think about that just in terms of the business as a whole. I think in the context I was talking about earlier, it was, when you're working with people and you're not aligned, sometimes you have to do that too. So it's just how the world works. So personalization, personalized experiences. So it's like you want to have an email list, but you also want it to be very personalized. Something else we've talked about a lot. That stood out for me. And
And I think a good way to do that, because you can't know everybody on your list, but they can know you. So you can share your life and your personality in your email list. And that will help them feel like it is more personal.
That's totally true. I think that in this case too, personalized, customer centric. So you can do tags. So when somebody comes in, you tag them as, if they come in through marketing self-assessment, if they come in
Right.
through ultimate, podcasting. I mean, you can like tailor your messages to geared toward what people are most interested in. You can also use tags so that you're including their first name if you're capturing their name, which I
Mhm.
highly recommend on your email list. If you are selling on e-commerce or something like that, you can also personalize what you send out based on products people have bought. It's kind of similar to what I was suggesting with the ultimate podcast planning checklist, but it also works if you have physical products or if, physical products, and that could be anything from t-shirts to French fries. You can definitely personalize
French
the
fries.
experience. I don't know why that popped into my head. Probably because I'm from Idaho. The other piece of this that's really interesting is this data privacy regulations tighten. There were, it's interesting on the ballot, they don't talk about the stuff down ballot that happens
Mm.
during an election, or laws sometimes that are coming on the books at the beginning of the year. There were several states, I want to say like 4 or 5 states, and they're putting on the books at some point next year increased privacy regulations. Up until now, it's been, I think, Illinois and California. Now it's like even more. So there's even that, like who's on your list, how are you tracking them, and are you complying with the law? So there's a lot in here. It's a good thing to talk about. It's a good thing to look at, even if you aren't a marketer. If you're a self-marketer, I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of value
Absolutely.
in this Salesforce document.
Success leaves clues. So look at these people, Salesforce, huge company, talking with other big companies and their marketers. And what are they doing and what is working for them? Then we can do the same
Absolutely.
thing.
And we will definitely put a link to this in the show, in the chat. If you want, Shelly, you could probably put it in the comments. I'm going to
Oh, yeah,
flip
yeah.
over to the other breaking news. I know, not as sexy. Everybody gets super excited about Salesforce, and it has all the pretty graphics and stuff. If if you are interested in content marketing, which it's not just live streaming, it's also words. In fact, words are always first, really, on this. One of the things that you'll want to do is stay abreast of changes to Google. It's frustrating and maddening, but they have a new algorithm update. And so if you look here, it says, creating helpful, reliable, people first content. We have been talking about this for months, all year throughout the year, that
Mm.
this is really important. 2 episodes that dive deeper into this that we'll include in the show notes are topic clusters and skyscraper pages. In both of those episodes, we talk about EAT, which is how you create authority around what it is that you're talking about. And this is really what underlies a lot of this people first content. You think about it, is your content helpful and satisfying for web visitors? I think part of why they're doing this is they are heightening their awareness of AI writing and how terrible it is and not helpful most of the time. There's nothing wrong with using AI to help you write. I use Lately, for example, for social media. I've used other tools like PepperType, but they aren't used without a human touch.
That's right.
So you have to use it as a guide. It's not God. Guide, not God. So, so what that means is make sure that you're focusing on people first. Make sure that the content you're creating holds up, as something that makes you an authority. I don't know why any of you would not do this anyway, naturally. However, we have to say it because now Google is saying, no, this is really important, even though they have said before it's really important. So we will include, there's some really great content quality questions in this article. We will definitely include this in the show notes as well so that you can be asking yourself these content quality questions, expertise questions as you go through and start writing posts, or even if you're thinking about doing something like what we do, which is having a podcast and then posting episode show notes. This could be an interesting exercise for you to go through this and look at it. And that's all I have for breaking news.
Oh, do you need applause again?
I don't need applause. Shelly gave herself a computer robot voice. Do we know how to undo that? I don't think she does. This is like the funniest thing that's ever happened. She's trying not to laugh. So while she's working on that,
Okay,
are you back? Okay.
I think I'm back. Oh no, that was Toby didn't take that one out. That was the broken button, but it was on another board. But it for some reason when I tapped the other one twice, it came on. Oh, we've been having trouble with this.
It's the
Rodecaster Pro 2.
Yeah,
stick with the Rodecaster Pro 1. People get the cheaper one because the 2 is buggy.
Got some bugs. So are you ready to start the training?
You betcha.
Awesome. Power us up, Shelly.
Here we go. I'm going to pull out my. Okay, today we're talking about collaboration campaigns, product bundles. And we want to start with, what is a product bundle? A product bundle is when you take many different things, digital courses, ebooks, workshops, masterminds, master classes, all the sorts of digital products, and you put them together, but they're all under one theme. I participated through Black Friday, during the week of Black Friday, in an InfoStax content creator super stack, and I donated or contributed to one of my courses to the stack, and it was a new experience for me. I had never done this before, and Jen asked me to talk about it today, and she asked me, where did they find you? And I was like, I don't know. So I emailed them and asked, how did you find me? And she said, we looked on Amazon for keywords such as live stream and other keywords. She says, I didn't know exactly which one hit for you, but I'm guessing it was live stream. And they found my book. So there's an important note. If you have not yet written a book, but you have been writing blogs for a while, compile them together and put a book up on Amazon. And it's going to, you never know. Opportunities can pop up all the time and things like that. So that's how they found me. And that is what a product bundle is. Now, you can do that through InfoStack, BC Stack. There's Podcaster's Kit. There's a bunch of them out there. Or you can create your own. If you already have a bunch of digital products, you can package them together in a bundle and add in a couple of extra services and then promote it like crazy. You can do that on your own. You can do it with other peers who also share similar audiences to you, who produce a digital product that would fit into a theme. And you can do that together and, share email lists and promote the heck out of it. But the reason I did it was because they contacted me and I thought, well, let me give it a try. It'll be a learning experience if nothing else. And it was. I'm going to look through so what do we need? as content creators and entrepreneurs, we need visibility, credibility, and customers. We want to grow our email list. So this product bundle was a way to accomplish visibility, credibility, and growing my email list. Visibility because people who wouldn't normally see me are going to see me because everybody who's in the product bundle, who's participating, is sending out emails to their list. They're putting out ads on their social media. And InfoStack is also doing that. They're putting out ads to everyone
Yeah,
to
I
share
mean,
this
here,
product.
I bought it. So do you
Oh
want
yeah,
to,
yeah.
do you want me to log in and
You can certainly do that. Absolutely.
show you the stack? So just so that everybody understands, let me share it here. So I bought Shelly's stack is here. It's the content creator super stack. And so just to underscore what Shelly's telling you, so if you look in here, these are all created by different content creators. And then in here,
Ta-da!
Shelly Carney, Livecast Life, the secret to fun, fulfilling, and consistent content creation. Now, if you were to buy this course outside of the stack, it's far more expensive. But buying it as part of a stack, then you're getting access to all of these tools. And then ostensibly, I would think, everybody that signs up for a course signs up for the stack, then you pick and choose. So I only really redeemed a handful the day I bought it, one of which was Shelly's. And I'm already on your email list, but so everybody that I added to, I got added to their email list, and then I could go in and look at each individual course. So I think you begin to see like there's 12 or 15 people on here. They're all promoting
I
it.
think there was like 24 products or
24
something like that.
products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I can't count. That's not why
That's
people
all right.
hire me. They
You
hire me for
didn't
marketing,
bother to count
so,
because you didn't care how many there were.
No, I was buying it because you were doing it and I thought it was
That's
cool.
right.
So,
Thank you.
bear that in mind. I bought
Yeah.
it because Shelly's cool, like
Mhm.
other people did too. So
Mhm.
this is why it's advantageous if you can get on one of these because you're being added alongside all of these other creators and promoting yourself as well. So, okay.
Mhm. Around the world, in fact, because some of these creators are in
Yeah.
the UK and other places in Europe. So yeah, you're around the world. And when they find you on there, and they may end up, if they get into the course, they're going to find out all of the content that I create, all of the different shows that I put out. So then they're going to say, oh, well, I'd like to learn more. And she said she's going to talk about this on her show. So I'm going to go tune into her show. So I get not only email subscribers, but then subscribers on my YouTube channel, podcast and whatnot. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So then they reached out to you and then you said yes. And then did you have to when did you give them this description?
So what they do is they say, okay, now here is the onboarding process. So I go through the onboarding process and it's this form, and I basically kind of copied what was on the form, and then I started working on it because it was the product description, it was the bio, all of the different information that you might have on a sales page for your course. They wanted so that they could put it on their sales page. So it forced me, number one, to finish the course I'd been playing around with all summer long. I finished the course, and then I had to do all of this sales copy. And they guided me through, here's what we need. And as I was writing it for them, I was plugging it in to my own course funnel so that I have that, it was motivational, right? Get this done and get it up.
Oh, yeah.
And now it all matches as well. So a good experience with that.
So are you saying then that this experience helped you improve like your sales copy?
Well, yeah, because it forced me to do it, and it kind of guided, how long it should be and what it should include. And they would give you samples to follow, and even the graphics, they gave you samples like, okay, here's some samples. And if you don't want to create the graphic, they'll create it for you. If you're like, I'm crap at that stuff, do it for me. So they would have, but I just copied one of their samples. And I think a lot of people did that because they were all real similar in their look. So it is an opportunity to collaborate and, finish a digital product if you haven't done that yet. Some people gave things that were very small and simple, like a checklist. Mine was a very comprehensive course because I wanted people to take the course and then give me feedback on it so that I can improve it. So, you have to decide for yourself, what do I want to include in this? And then there's advertising. So they send you email swipe copy so that you can write emails. Now they
Wow.
ask you to think about writing to your list every day during the sale, and that's 9 days. Well, actually 9 days, because they want you to do the day before, "Hey, this is coming," and then every day. So it's 9 days, but you don't have
Wow.
to. You get to choose. It's your
Yeah.
list, and they're very all about that. This is you. This is your list. But here's some email swipe copy for 9 emails. I went ahead and set up those emails. I personalized them,
Okay.
from my voice. And I set them up in a whole different email marketing provider. I put them into ConvertKit. ConvertKit, you can start for free. So I just put that list I took my list from SendFox and I put it over in ConvertKit. And then I set up all those 9 emails. And I recommend you do this because if you wait and you think you're going to do it every day, it's not going to happen. So you set them up ahead of time, use their email swipe copy, put in your affiliate link. They give you an affiliate link so that when people click on it, you get credit for it, so that you make a commission off of every sale that you bring in.
Yeah.
And then you can set and forget the emails at that point. Now, they also recommend that you might want to have a welcome sequence, but they don't give you, guidelines for that. So if people sign up for your course, you put them on your email list, and then they get a welcome sequence to know more about you and what you do. And some people will try to sell you things or get you involved in their memberships and that sort of thing. I've noticed, because I've signed up for this as well, so I'm doing that too. Whereas I'm just like, I just put them on my list and put them in my welcome sequence. So they get, here's who I am, here's what I do. And now they're getting my, my weekly newsletter, just to kind of, nurture the relationship, rather than, "Hey, have you done the course yet? Hey, do this. Hey, do that."
I will tell you, like,
I bombard them.
I got bombarded. I had to
Yeah.
unsubscribe from somebody already because I'm like, like I downloaded it. It was the TikTok coach, and I was just curious, and then it was just like had me on blast, and I will say, so this must be the part that was hard for you, was sending out like daily emails. Like, I feel like my list would kill me since I only send one out a week. And yet at the same time, I know that this is how it works.
That's right.
This
Now,
is
what
how you
I
make
did
those
was
sales.
I included in my newsletter, my weekly newsletter, I told them what was going on. "Look, I am sending you all information about this.
Yeah.
If you do not want to receive any information about that, it's on a completely different email server. So go ahead and unsubscribe from that, but don't unsubscribe from the newsletter, because, you'll still get the newsletter once a week." Just kind of let them know, here's what's happening. Don't get scared. Don't get worried. Don't unsubscribe, if you don't want that one.
Yeah, that's
Just
absolutely how to
unsubscribe
do
from
it.
that.
Just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
opting out of this. So then did they also provide you with like social media?
They did give me a handful of graphics that I could use for posts. And I also, because I'm a video person, I took their email swipe copy and I adjusted them, and I created 9 videos, which I put
Wow.
into square format and portrait format. And I scheduled them with my social media scheduler to go out, every day. And then I just, okay, that's done. And
Yeah.
Toby and I went to Alamogordo. So I'm just like,
Brilliant.
because a few days in, you and Toby had purchased and nobody else had. Now they tell you people don't purchase till the last day.
Yep.
So don't freak out about it. Just keep things going. And I did. I was like, okay. I had to calm myself down. This is not a reflection of who I am. This is just marketing. And people, you have to do that sometimes during a launch or during a promotion
Mhm.
when you're like, oh, nobody loves me, they're not buying my products. It's like, also they're getting 1,000 different emails a day about Black Friday promotions, so
Yeah.
don't take it personally. But what does happen is you get some sales, you get some new people on your email list, but a lot more people are aware of you, and the
Mm.
people who already knew you are inspired to take some kind of action. So there's been more action since I've done this. So
Yeah.
putting out things into the world relentlessly will get some attention, and attention is money in this industry. So
Sure.
I
Yeah.
recommend it for that. I recommend trying it because it is a learning experience. You feel motivated, almost forced. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to get that done. Oh, they want me to do this. Well, it's totally up to you if you do it or not. That's the secret that you hide in the back of your brain, and then you force yourself to get it done. And then on the other side of it, you go, I did that, and here's how it worked out for me. And maybe you didn't get a lot of sales. I didn't get a lot of sales. I had like 4 sales. And maybe you don't get a lot of people on your email list, but in this particular case, they have a whole year to sign up.
Yep.
So they bought the package. They can sign up anytime in the next year. So I can add them on at that point. I have probably about 22, 24 people who've signed up so far, and they're now on my email list, and they are qualified leads. So it's
Right.
important. It is, I think the greatest learning experience was just that set it and forget it. Commit to it. I'm
Mhm.
doing this, and it's going to last a week, and I'm doing 9 emails, and I'm going to do 9 videos, and I'm going to do, all these posts, and then I'm going to schedule it all, and then I'm just going to let it do its thing, and I'm not going to, take it
Yeah.
personally.
Not gonna flip out about it.
So yeah.
Here's the thing, you can learn so much. So at the time I signed up so remember at the beginning, I said I'd sold 400 AppSumo courses. I signed up when they were trying to get people to sell courses. So a year ago, it
Mm,
wasn't like the whole world had a course on AppSumo,
mhm.
which it seems like now they have a ton of courses. So they offered, I mean, really, honestly,
Maybe, or maybe you just now notice it because you're looking for it.
well, at the time they were offering a bonus if you signed up and sold a course.
Oh, very
So I
cool.
think they sent us like $1,000
Oh,
for having a course. And then as
wow.
part of signing up at that time, it was because it was last year for Black Friday that we signed up, and then right before, we went live in October, and it was
Mhm.
like we got the bonus if we signed up by that time. So, we got the bonus, and then part of that whole package was, "Hey, would you like us to help write your copy and do graphics?" I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
yes, please. Okay,
Yeah. Anything that
sure."
they're gonna do,
So,
absolutely.
it
Oh,
was
boy.
yeah, we got
I
some
got it.
spam. So, we've got uh, so as part of that, I was like, "Yes, please. I'm gonna let you help me write the copy for this. I'm gonna help you with the graphics. If you look at the graphics, this is clearly not graphics that I typically would have on my website, and yet it's been very good. It's done very well, and I learned a lot about, like, how to talk about things, how I changed some of my own personal copywriting based on this experience, and it's really worked out. So, and it sounds like you've really learned a lot from this as well.
Yeah, it was a growth experience, and, the other thing is I think I've made, a good connection with the people at InfoStack, and they are going to be promoting it again in January, and they asked, "Would you like to promote it again?"
Mhm.
You don't have to, it's your choice, but if I do make any sales, of course, I get the commission, but they're gonna promote it
Yeah.
again, so they're gonna bring in even more people to buy these courses, and they said they're even adding more content creators to the
Yeah.
stack this second time. So there's going to be even a wider audience. So once you're in, it can continue to grow. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I was like, well, let's just see. Let's just see if
Hmm.
if Epiphany can take off a little by selling courses on AppSumo. And then, we've learned a lot through the whole process. We had people coming in, we've gotten a lot of feedback. I think it's a really great experience. So
Yeah.
anytime that you get contacted by somebody, this might work. I mean, it sounds like you're willing to keep going with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't sell a lot, but they give you a really good commission.
Mhm.
Like 70% or something. It's really good. So it's really worth it to me, not just because of the money though, but because of the learning that's involved and that
Yeah.
push. And when you get involved in something that's quality, you want to make sure it's a good quality, it's a good
Yeah.
company,
Yeah.
they treat their people well, then you know there's so many doors that can start to open up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You
was on
know,
a live stream to promote this. And the guy and I on the live stream really bonded, like we thought a lot alike about the content consistency framework and, live stream first framework of doing content creation. So he's like, "Oh, I want to have you back." And I said, "Well, I even have a book," because he's promoting authors. And I was like, "I have a book." And he's like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about your book." So we hit it off, and he's got a huge list that he's sharing this with. So, it,
fantastic. This is
it
all
just
good.
grows.
Yeah, it just
It just
grows.
grows. Yeah.
So hopefully everybody can see the benefit of collaboration. Do you have any other like benefits or costs or anything you wanted to share?
Well, the only cost is, whatever it is you're giving them, which is a digital product, which is you've already created anyway, and you can still continue to sell on your own to other people. So I don't think there's a whole lot of cost other than your time and your effort. But for your time and your effort, you're getting so much growth and knowledge and opportunity from it. I say it's really worth doing.
Absolutely. Well, that's cool. Do you have anything else to teach us today? This has been really helpful. This is
No, I think make sure you check out Jen's course and her self-assessment, a marketing self-assessment, and check out my framework, because
well,
content
yeah,
consistency framework. We need that in 2023.
absolutely.
Yeah. So those are scrolling across the bottom, but go to womenconquerbiz.com/podcast to learn more about the podcast. Go to where?
Sendfox.com/WCB for
There
the
you go.
free marketing self-assessment, and then framework.agkmedia.studio to get your content consistency framework.
Yay. So
Woo!
those are all our CTAs for you today.
That's right. Are you ready for tweaks of
CTA
the
button.
week?
Tweaks of the week. All right.
So Shelly is also leading us in tweaks of the week and inspirational nugget. This is AKA Shelly Show. So take it away.
Okay. So this week I did a show yesterday, in fact, about a content website that you can put together very quickly and automatically called SuperPass.
Mhm.
I purchased it, and Jen got it
I
too
did.
through AppSumo. Today is the last day you can get the special deal. So if you're listening right now, run out and get it. Otherwise, they do have a forever free level that doesn't have as many features, but it's still free. So it's a great place to get started if you're a content creator putting out a podcast, especially. So all you have to do is import your RSS feed for your podcast and for your blog, and it pulls it in automatically.
Mhm.
You can start bringing in your YouTube videos with a Zapier. That's how
Sure.
they're doing it right now. And once you have that set up, it just does its thing. You don't have to mess with it. And then you can
Mhm.
put in your, all your information, all your contact information. You can have courses and special other content on there that you can gate with a paywall, or
You can
you
have a
can
membership.
have a
Yeah.
membership where they pay monthly. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go either way. Mhm.
Yeah, so this would be an alternative to like a Patreon or some of these other content creator websites, but way easier than setting up a whole Patreon. I think I had a Patreon account for a while, and
Yeah. Yeah, I
this
tried
is
Patreon
really
too.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is really great. I bought it because when Liz was here, we decided we're going to have a side podcast for funsies called Female Crime Fighters.
Da, da,
So
da.
dun dun dun. Uh, so I was like, I wonder, because I was the one who said, have you looked at Superpass? Like,
Mhm.
and maybe
You
I don't.
did. You told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember if you bought it yet or not when I said that. But then when I was like, if we're really going to do like a new podcast, like I need a place to put it. And I was like, I wonder if Superpass is still there. So it was, and
Mhm.
as you said, it's almost done. They've added, so part of buying apps from AppSumo, if they're good companies, and I think this is a good one. If you look at some of the people like Podfest being on here, I mean, I think it's a good indicator for the quality of the product. What happens is they start to get feedback based on the deal that informs the company of how they may want to adapt or change what they're offering. And that's really what's happened with this product. Like in the beginning, you would get certain things, and then everybody's like, well, but this isn't really as useful as if you made it so that we could add blogs as part of the deal, or we made it so that we could upgrade into the growth pricing point. And they've added that too, so that if and that right now is yearly, it's like $300 a month or $350 a month,
Yeah.
to get the growth package. If you buy, like, I think it's the second tier, I think that's why I got the second tier on
Mhm.
AppSumo, it's like $8 a month or something like that. So like you can see that like you're
Mm.
saving like a tremendous amount, and they're going to let you in to grow your business with them. So it's a good one. How has your experience been so far with having Superpass?
So I was a little confused on some things, and they have a little chat bubble down in the bottom. You click on that, and if they're not there, they start emailing with you so that they want to know your questions and your problems, and they ask you for if it's something to do, like I was having a problem with setting up the DNS for my my domain name,
Oh, the domain
hooking
name, sure.
the domain
Yeah.
to it. And so they were saying, "Oh, well, just send us some screen caps and let us know what's going on, and we'll help you fix it." And then they also said, "And here is our scheduling app to schedule a call with us." And I've seen in the AppSumo comments, people have also said, I was on the phone with them 3 times, and they walked me through everything, and they're really patient, and they got it. They worked on it until it was right. And
Yeah.
so their customer service is really good. They have a knowledge hub, they have a blog, and they have a Superpass Academy, so that there's all kinds of ways to learn how to use it and to get your questions answered and to fix little problems, that come up. I was
Yeah.
having an issue, with the DNS. Like I said, if you type in messagesandmethods.com, it should take you right there. Now it does, but I had made a mistake on there, and Toby and I kind of figured it out. But I could have, had a call with them. I did have a call with them initially, just to
Yeah.
have a quick, here's what I'm doing with it, and talked it over, because I was like, well, how do I make it go live? And he's like, well, you just hook up your, your DNS, you adjust your DNS, your A record for your domain name, and then it goes live. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
easy. It's
Yeah.
just
I mean, but sometimes, and that's part of why, you're an early adopter when you do something through AppSumo. But usually the good companies, they'll help you right away. And look at
yeah,
this. I mean, this is pretty nice. This is your Superpass site, correct?
yeah.
So, there's some good stuff in here. You can also log in or register.
hmm
So
It
this is
encourages people to sign up with you to get notified of content. There's
yeah.
also, you can gate your content in, free to everybody who shows up and looks at it,
Mhm.
free to anybody who signs in, and
Yeah.
then paid products. So it's
This is
nice that you
great.
can do that.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Woo! So I'll
Woohoo.
I'll keep you posted if I build my Superpass site.
If
I'm excited. Well, when,
do it.
I'm busy. I'm a
Come
busy gal.
on. It's so easy. Just put in the RSS feeds, boom. Now, the first page, the getting started, it runs you through. Okay, now first do this, then do this, then do this, and it's like, okay, okay,
We'll have to talk to Liz,
yeah, it's pretty
the
simple.
Brain Trust co-host. So
Yeah, I think the hardest part was like, okay, if you don't have branding, or if you're unsure of what branding you want to put on there, then you kind of have to get together and make sure that it is, you're both happy
yeah,
with it. Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
all.
So are you ready for some inspirational nuggets?
Let me look at my inspirational. I got some quotes for you today.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Zig Ziglar. It was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through. Richard Branson. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. And this is anonymous. There are secret opportunities hidden inside every failure. And I added the word perceived. There are secret opportunities hidden inside every perceived failure. Just because you think you failed doesn't mean you failed. You learned something, even if because you tried, because you took action. And I love the one from Zig Ziglar about character got us going, commitment moved us into action, and discipline enabled us to follow through. And that's how I felt about the product stack that I was working on. It was like discipline, get it done. I have a deadline. I have to get this in because I promised not just them, but myself that I would do this. And I had a reason to do it, pushed myself and I got it done. And that discipline pays off.
And I want to really congratulate you for following through. It takes courage and it really does. I mean, you're laughing, but it does. It takes courage to say, okay, I'm going to run with this. They're telling me to do this and I have all the feels about that and I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that's not,
it's true.
It's hard. It's hard to follow through and just say, well, I'm going to listen because sometimes it's easier to not listen. So I want to congratulate you for that. And you're seeing the results of that and it's going to continue to come in over the course of the year. You've built some good relationships. This is exciting.
It is. And even some things that I don't think are related to it have started popping up. And I think when you take action, when you put stuff out in the world, even if it's not directly related, other things are going to start happening because you shake it up, right? It's like that snow globe. You shook it up. So all those little snowflakes are coming down now and coming into your world. So got to shake things up.
Got to do it.
Is that all we have for today?
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, whether you're watching us or listening to us. And we really, really hope you have a great week.
Thank you for joining the Women Conquer Business podcast, hosted by Shelley Carney and Jen McFarland. Please subscribe and leave a comment or question regarding your most challenging content creation or business problem. Then share this podcast with family and friends so they can find the support they need to expand their brand and share their message with the world. Check the show notes for links to valuable resources and come back again next week.